I am muted. Sorry about that. In the bottom left, we have MichaeL, our winner of the last game. Doing extremely well. Beating Soen 2-0. And in the top right, the winner from the mainstream, LabyRinth, in an undead mirror. We'll get a prediction started here. Yes, I was muted. Thank you guys for letting me know. Appreciate that. Predictions are out, and I will do my best to not end the prediction early. And for your troubles, you're going to get Frost Nova as Lich comes out first with the DK out for MichaeL. DK has begun its creep route. Meanwhile, Lich. The first time I really saw, I mean, not like I have a lot of history to go off of here, but I remember Happy was popularizing Lich first against Undead in Undead Mirrors. The Death Knight gonna wander on across, see what's going on. Here we are, just straight ghouls over for the Lich. And we're going to have some fiends for the Death Knight, for MichaeL. LabyRinth opting to go for this camp, maybe a fast expo here. Plops down some Blight. And this is not something MichaeL wants to allow LabyRinth to get online here. Here is the Acolyte going to pop a Ziggurat right in place here. Get some early defenses up and operational as soon as possible. Meanwhile, the Ogre Magi continuing to go to town on these ghouls. Ghoul is moved out of position, but ultimately will fall to the death. Also, MichaeL trying to get some snipes on these creeps as well, but unfortunately the coil was not timed as perfect as he would have liked. And the Ziggurat must be canceled, and the Lich has to back off. Certainly a setback for LabyRinth here, as he wanted to go for the early expo and is now a little bit behind in the tech.
Players' forces are under attack.
Probably off by about 10 to 15 seconds there. Back at home base. Nice Nerubian Tower to make sure everything is okay back at home. Don't get any cheeky early harasses, and Fiends are here for the DK. Going up against Ghouls, Lich. And Lich gonna sell that Cloak of Shadows, pick up a Boots of Speed. Meanwhile, DK wandering across the map here, gonna try to make sure that Expo's not coming up again. Sees that it is not up, will instead raise some skeletons and venture off to try to find what creep camp to take on next.
A player's forces are under attack.
Here we are, decide to take the merchant down. Let's see what item the Sasquatch has for us today. Meanwhile, down here below, a Fiend in trouble. Is going to be overwhelmed by the ghouls. And nice stutter steps on the Lich, securing that kill of the Lich, of the Fiends. Forcing the DK to TP back. He wants to respect this and maybe gonna plop down just a little bit behind here. Was that a fake TP? It was. Fake TP to get him back, used the staff, and turned it off right at the last second.
A player's forces are under attack.
Well timed, it was just enough to push back LabyRinth. Alright. A little poke here and there. Lich getting some Novas onto the Fiends. Gonna certainly be coiled back up once they take a little bit more damage, as anticipated there by the Death Knight, and sacrificing ghouls to restore the mana of the Lich to get more Novas onto these Fiends. However, plenty of coils left on the Death Knight to get those Fiends healed right back up to full. This is the non-issue for the Death Knight so long as he has some mana and 2 coils left in the bank. Lich has about 2 Novas as well, and another Lich is now on the board, so it's going to be a little chilly in here as Novas are going to be flying left and right on this map. And in reverse order, Death Knight now out for LabyRinth. Oh, and this Lich is in a lot of trouble here. A Nova was targeted on the Lich, and I completely missed that. But the Lich is going to stick around. He knows the Lich doesn't have enough mana for a Nova and will get healed just in time, sticking around for the perfect amount of time to get some more damage on that Lich. And a Nova now on the Fiend of MichaeL to take it down. Now MichaeL needs to just get into better position here. How's he going to handle this? The Lich healed right back up to full from the Death Knight of LabyRinth. And the Slaughterhouse now online. Tier 3, 75% done for LabyRinth, as MichaeL finishes off this creep camp and will be rewarded with Scroll the Beast for his troubles.
Player's forces are under attack.
MichaeL also finishing Tier 3 as well. Couple statues on the way. Surrounding this level 6 Direwolf. Nice play here. Boots of Quel'Tha Lost +6. Gonna go on the Lich, faster attack speed. Especially once that Orb of Corruption is in play. It's going to be pretty nasty. The Lich is going to wander on down, let the DK soak up this experience, eat that tome, and get on with level 2. Unholy Aurisk is certainly going to help out LabyRinth's army a lot, able to move a lot faster throughout. Though Death Knight in MichaeL's army, level 3. Very potent coils coming. Not going to be able to attack with coils in this game. Only going to be able to heal. Some nice damage there on the Fiend. Took over 50 damage from one auto attack of the Lich. Wow.
The player's forces are under attack.
Dark Ranger on the board as the 3rd hero is selected for MichaeL. And we know the damage he did with the Dark Ranger last game, but opts for silence this game as Dark Ranger is also picked for LabyRinth. We have a hero mirror just in a different order right now. And some nice Nova onto the Death Knight here in the back. MichaeL's Death Knight falls immediately so fast. And burrowing some Fiends to try to protect them, get that Death Knight back online and get them healed back up. One statue's going to fall. LabyRinth seems to have full control over this battle right now. And he's going to TP out before he loses too much. That was a nice kill from LabyRinth there. MichaeL took a big loss with that level 3 Death Knight falling. Definitely don't want to see that happening too often. Lich is back. He's mean, he's angry, and he wants to Nova these Fiends.
The player's forces are under attack.
Gonna take down and secure this level 6 Direwolf, but not before MichaeL shows up and is gonna attempt to jack it, and the Nova does steal it. Silence onto the Death Knight, not gonna be able to heal anything for quite a while now. Reveal is popped, Dust of Appearance was used. Gonna be able to see those burrowed fiends now of MichaeL. Meanwhile, LabyRinth's gonna finish off this creep camp. MichaeL wants to stick around and watch, he can, but MichaeL is going to veer off and do his own thing south of here.
A player's force is
They're gonna pull this creep camp out and take it down. And LabyRinth's gonna reward level 2 the Dark Ranger. He's probably gonna opt to take some black arrows, but hasn't chosen a skill yet.
player's forces are under attack.
Meanwhile, taking down this easier green camp, MichaeL, down in the southeastern part of the map. And we are going to see an encounter here. 47 food from LabyRinth versus 49 food from MichaeL. Armies are pretty even. Destroyers, statues, fiends, skeleton warriors, everything is the same. Both people have the same armies, but MichaeL's Death Knight is not the same. He has to be forced to TP out, and the Lich, also taking a ton of damage, was coiled just to save it, but still was taking critical damage. A lot of nuking capabilities from both players. Gonna go for the red camp now. Needs to get some critical items. However, LabyRinth senses this. His sixth sense, his spidey sense is tingling, and he knows he's going for the red camp. He wants a sweet, juicy creep jack, and he's gonna get it. And one statue's possibly going to fall, but it does get into good position. The Death Knight is in a very vulnerable position. Level 4, the coil's not in time. The Lich falls. GG is called. MichaeL falls. LabyRinth takes game 1 on Autumn Leaves. Really tight game there from MichaeL versus LabyRinth, turning the typically mundane undead mirror match into a real showstopper, nail biter. It was so nice, and a lot of focus fire on those liches, on the DKs. Just that Nova is so powerful. On top, you know, couple that with Destroyer, focus fire from the Fiends. Those heroes were falling so incredibly fast. Even without coil to even attack. Now you throw coil in there, whew, it's game over. With that, gonna take a quick break while we get ready for game 2. And we're back with MichaeL versus LabyRinth. Game 2. Game 1 did go to LabyRinth. Gonna update War 3 booster there. Really good showdown between these two undead players. LabyRinth opted to go Lich first, and it paid off, and he's gonna do it again. Meanwhile, Cryptlord first for MichaeL. MichaeL's gonna change things up. Didn't quite like how the DK first felt last game. Wants to opt to change things up to potentially help deal with that Lich. Now I wonder how this game will differ from last game. Are we going to see fast expo attempts from both players? Potentially stay out of each other's way in the early game. As the Acolytes start going to work for the Cryptlord, going to start killing these critters. And now LabyRinth knows what's coming. He knows Cryptlord is online and is going to be going for a fast expo attempt right now. And Lich is here to stop it at all means necessary. We get a couple more beetles as a result of clearing this camp out. The Lich is on the way with its own army and its own plan in mind. And Cripple are going to walk on over, surround this Acolyte, and call it a day. Lich gonna interrupt this fast expo attempt, so not gonna be able to get this one off, unfortunately.
A player's forces are under attack.
Alright, and Cryptlord going to town, just getting back to standard creeping now. But will be interrupted by the Lich, who does get a critical coil off. And Nova again onto the ghouls of MichaeL, damaging them quite a bit here. Full health ghouls chasing after. A nice deny from LabyRinth there, and a critical impale. Potentially a surround, but the one beetle falls, allowing the Lich to slip out. And more clustering here, trying to get this Lich surrounded. Lich popped out somehow. I don't even know how he popped out there. And it's so hard to get surrounds with these ghouls. Their hitbox is so small. But any surround you can take, you will get. Trying to get a deny there. Unfortunately, the missile of the Lich was not able to get there in time.
Under attack.
And Lich probably going to pop off another Nova as soon as he has the mana to do it. Those Novas at the beginning of the game are so potent, so powerful. And MichaeL doesn't care if the Lich is here. He's going to creep this out anyway and potentially expand. LabyRinth with MichaeL right in his face. He's going to go for some snipes here on the ghouls. Ghouls are falling from both players. And a nice Nova onto the yellow ghouls of MichaeL here. MichaeL losing some of his critical army mass. As LabyRinth making a full push onto breaking this expo attempt. And red ghoul falls, yellow ghoul falls. Both players losing ghouls left and right. Ghoul is sacrificed. And then the Ogre was sniped by a Frost Nova as well and damaged. But can we get a surround on the Lich? A surround is locked in on the Lich. He's going to force a TP here. And MichaeL does successfully get his expo potentially up and running. Haunted Goldmine has started. The question is, will LabyRinth come down and attempt to cancel it? You are now on a timer. Crippler now has that nice level 3. That's certainly going to help quite a bit with the rest of this early game here, as you are certainly going to be getting harassed by LabyRinth, and here he comes right on cue, as scheduled, as anticipated. And he's going to try to cancel this Haunted Gold Mine, and looks like it will be successful. There's plenty of damage to get it done. Cancel is done. Lightning Shield on to the Carrion Beetle. Plenty of attack damage from the red ghouls of Labyrinth to take down these beetles. Even if they are level 2, doesn't matter. Have plenty of ghouls to take these things down. And a level 1 Carrion Beetle potentially going to go just scout out the undead base. Meanwhile, back down here, we're not done yet. Lich wants more. Wants to solidify and guarantee that this expo doesn't get up, but it's going to get harder and harder with these ziggurats getting upgraded. Lich now hits level 3, and that level 2 Nova is going to start hurting a lot. A nice Nova is ready. 125 mana is ready to be used. Will he use it on these summoned units, or will he save it for maybe these acolytes who are going to really feel the effects of that Frost Nova? As the Lich scurries away, deciding to opt out, and is going to take down 2 beetles with 1 Nova. Yeah, back at the home base, Tier 2 coming online after the expo has been thwarted once or twice, but is resilient enough to get it up, which is nice to see. MichaeL there. Tier 3 on the way, 60% done for LabyRinth. Constant creep jacks left and right. As soon as one undead creeps, the other jacks. Poetry in motion here. Lightning Shield cast onto the creeps. Gonna need to back off and not take unnecessary damage on those ghouls. Meanwhile, no second hero in production yet. Maybe a tavern hero, or just haven't figured out which one we want to go with yet. This Lich would love to have some backline support from a Death Knight to keep it healed. Continues to sacrifice ghouls and skeleton warriors to replenish its mana. The Lich is just so deadly in the early game with these Frost Novas, especially against ghouls.
A player's forces are under attack.
And double crypt coming up now for the undead. Still no second hero being trained yet, but statues are on the way. Tier 3 is live. What will we see from LabyRinth? So we have triple crypt now. Potentially Gargs. Or are we just going to mass ghouls? Maybe get a Dreadlord?
A player's forces are under attack.
Very curious to see what happens here. As we're going to try to take down this beetle on its way to your base. It's probably just going to burrow and spy on you the rest of the game. No second heroes trained for either undead player yet. Now wanting to take ownership of this merchant camp. This Lich is looking scary. If he could get a couple claws or a couple circlets, he's going to be in business, and he's going to have a lot of powerful auto attacks. But he's already scary enough with the Nova. The Boots of Quel'The Loss going to help him attack a little bit faster here. Also buys the Boots of Speed and picks up the Boots of Quel'The Loss. MichaeL's Expo is fully online and operational. The question is, will he be able to take full advantage of it? Can he take the game long enough to get full advantage of this early Expo? The towers are up, and a beautiful impale getting almost all of the army. Guards are online. Triple crypt guards in play now, destroying the destroyer. However, a lot of ghouls here from the Lich. Lich needs to start sacrificing ghouls, but these impales are so potent, just taking all the ghouls for a ride, as the gargoyles are now here to strike down on the ghouls. The ghouls trying to take down this Expo, take down these towers, but he's getting eaten alive. LabyRinth is losing units left and right. Meanwhile, MichaeL's are safe in the skies.
Player's forces are under attack.
And the DK is now here to support the Crypt Lord, and MichaeL is looking pretty good right now. Gargs are going to help finish off the remainder of these ghouls. Triple Crypt online. These ghouls are going to be pumped out so fast. DK on the way for LabyRinth. Want to match the healing capabilities of MichaeL.
A player's forces are under attack.
Let's try to check out what was crept. What is the state of the map right now? Gathering more information. Ghouls going back home to heal up on the Blight and to start getting the work, getting some wood economy going for LabyRinth. Meanwhile, LabyRinth's army numbers are still relatively low. Only really ghouls right now.
A player's forces
And a Death Knight. But LabyRinth doesn't care. He's going to Nova everything anyway with a Destroyer in play, chasing the Gargs back. And it remains, is Mass Ghouls going to be effective enough against this army? The Novas are going to be so powerful at level 3. And going to go for the natural. Meanwhile, Scorpion Camp going to be taken down by MichaeL.
player's forces are under attack.
Checking back on the macros here. We do have a Dreadlord coming out. Maybe for some sleep abuse. No third hero coming out yet for MichaeL. Statues on the way. Some extra ziggurats, extra protection. Temple of the Damned also coming up. And the Lich just a continual annoyance to MichaeL here, able to drop Novas right in his face at any time.
Under attack.
And one beetle at a time will fall. I don't see any more Gargs in production. Actually, just one Garg in production. But MichaeL has plenty of gold. What is the plan? Going to tier 3. Plenty of gold. A little lumber shortage, though. Maybe you want to get an extra ghoul on that lumber. Might be lumber starved right now. Would love to borrow one of these 100 ghouls that LabyRinth has. And MichaeL going to go for the red camp here and take down this Magnetar. Level 5 Lich, always following closely behind. Maybe gonna snipe this Magnetar with a Frost Nova. Let's see if he times it right. Will he get it? Instead, an Impale to possibly prevent it. Frost Nova not in time. And a nice Impale on the Lich, preventing the XP steal from LabyRinth. And another Impale, juicy Impale on that line of ghouls right there. And MichaeL is going to TP out. Nice creepjack attempt from LabyRinth, but at the end, MichaeL was able to defend it very nicely. And now Fiend's on the way for MichaeL. Meanwhile, Dreadlord has Carrion Swarms, going to help deal with the Gargs. Also has Sleep, going to help deal with the heroes. So we have a lot of capabilities to deal with the gargoyles right now. And LabyRinth going to go for yet another red camp potentially here. Question is, will the Lich get in the way again? Actually, sorry, I have that backwards. MichaeL went for the last red camp, and LabyRinth's Lich got in the way. Will we see a role reversal potentially? MichaeL knows, he smells it across the map. He knows he's got to get over here and snipe this Magnetar Reaver. He wants to claim that item. That item could be a difference maker in this game. Battle has begun creeping right in his face. A nice Impale, sending all the ghouls for a ride, and a nuke on the Lich of MichaeL, instantly deleted. One statue gonna fall from MichaeL as well, as the Novas are going off from LabyRinth. LabyRinth taking full control of this battle right now, but his food count is low. He's gonna have some way to deal with those gargoyles. But they are slipping away one by one. He is handling it. But with only 44 food, It's gonna be tough to call it a game. He's gonna persevere and push forward.
A player's forces are under attack.
Even with only a couple units here, LabyRinth wants it all, and he wants it now, and a nice Nova onto the Gargs. Potential Carrion Swarm incoming here. Banshee's now on the field as well, and will fall. Also taking a Garg with him. 62 food, though, from MichaeL. A lot in production right now. But now LabyRinth has the Expo up. But quite a bit behind. 9,000 gold to 5,000 gold. So 5,000 gold lead from MichaeL right now. But LabyRinth will start closing the gap. And then if that mine of MichaeL's runs out, could start taking the lead. This Lich level 5 is getting deadlier and deadlier by the minute.
Are under attack.
As soon as it gets Death and Decay, if he can get in a nice position to not be impaled, it could be a big deal. And another battle has begun. Orb of Corruption just being launched left and right. A lot of big Novas going off from the Lich. Another big Nova on the back of the Fiends here. Trying to get in a good position to get some good impales for the Crypt Lord here. And instead opting to just take down the Fiends one by one. The Dreadlord is next. And a nice impale on the Death Knight to potentially get a surround on the Dreadlord to prevent the healing. But the Carrion Swarm's gonna take down the Lich and delete it again. That Carrion Swarm from the Dreadlord so strong. Unbelievable. We're going to take down the easy green camp here. Not too many more creep camps to go. We may have this one left as well. This one says it's on the map. I thought we were just there. So maybe there's a creep or two left there. But we'll see.
A player's forces are under attack.
Totally expect both teams to be going for these merchants to grab some items as well. And what do we got in the shop? We have an Invuln pot coming up in 1 second. Will probably be purchased. Dust of Appearance also taken with the Invuln. Going to be able to reveal those fiends, those pesky fiends that dig underground. MichaeL kind of camping back at the base, getting some scouting out, figuring out only really an Ogre Magi left on the map to creep. As MichaeL burrows safely. Doesn't want to burn a dust on just that, so he's going to save it. And buys the Scroll Town portal as an insurance policy to make sure no overextensions happen. Now, MichaeL with 74 food right now definitely has the army advantage. But that Lich, as it scales into level 6, could turn the game around as the final creeps on the map will be crept out right now. And some inconvenience from LabyRinth here as MichaeL's Carrion Beetles are going to harass his Expo and burrow up just to make him pay constant attention to it. As soon as that ghoul goes away, these things are going to unburrow and get right back to work. Anti-magic shell going out on the Fiends, trying to prevent all of that beefy Nova damage. Certainly going to help with that incredibly high AoE capability of Nova and the Carrion Swarm also. Carrion Swarm was wreaking havoc on the Lich. Both armies are here. The map is crept out. There's only one thing left to do, and that is fight. Starting with a nice impale on two Fiends and the DK. Carrion Swarm rolling across the back line of the Fiends, but Anti-Magic Shell absorbs most of it. Now Anti-Magic Shell onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord working its way to the back of the army. Novas are ready to be used on the Fiends. Got to get rid of that Anti-Magic Shell. The backline Dreadlord falls. It falls fast. Gets deleted. Can Lich get some critical Novas onto the backline here and start making some big progress against this big army of MichaeL? 74 food to 55 food. Death Coil going on the A-Bomb, bringing it up to a healthy level. Some more beefy impales going off on LabyRinth's Death Knight. LabyRinth's Death Knight is in trouble right now, falling fast, has low health, but now LabyRinth's Lich is up to level 6. Dust of Appearance used, trying to see what Fiends are burrowed right now at the moment. Instead, gonna opt for level 3 Sacrifice, getting more mana, more Novas. Another nice coil onto the Lich. Lich is saved. And Lich has some really powerful Novas right now. Is it enough to hold off? Nice Nova onto that level 2 Lich. Level 2 Lich fell about 30% health. These Fiends from LabyRinth will get healed up by a clutch coil from the DK down south right there. And another Nova to slow down the impeding attack from MichaeL. But MichaeL has a lot and LabyRinth does not. LabyRinth only 43 food right now, but he does have a level 6 Lich. It is very strong and will certainly get some more Novas off onto this Fiend pile in the back here. However, it's not something the DK can't handle with plenty of coils in the bank right now. Level 6 Lich is going to continue to get some coils off, or some Novas off onto the back line here. DK needs to get into a safer position. Can't overextend too much. You have no healing capabilities right now outside of a TP back home. MichaeL trying to tear down this Expo, put an end to this and take this to a game 3. But LabyRinth does not want to go down easy. LabyRinth wants to end this right now and go 2-0 and carry it with a Lich. But the DK is going to, potentially fall. But instead TP's to the Expo. He's going to look for him. DK in the back. Just slips away. And does get healed up by a potion brought over by the Dreadlord. Dreadlord is back online right now. And some of the destroyers of MichaeL getting webbed and taken down. MichaeL continuing to chip away at this Expo. Going to take down this Haunted Gold Mine as LabyRinth pushes in forward to try to get some Novas on these Fiends. Carrion Swarm on the Fiends is able to take one before MichaeL TP's back. And LabyRinth is able to not necessarily hold it because he lost the gold mine, but it didn't completely fall and he's not out. Initial gold mines are mined out for both players right now, relying solely on the Expos. And again, this mine of MichaeL's is about to mine out, and this is that critical point in the game where that early Expo is going to run out. And now if LabyRinth can keep hold of this Expo, he's going to have the only economic advantage right now outside of Expoing to these red mines. So MichaeL needs to start thinking about getting to another Expo here on this red mine as we hit the 25-minute mark in Game 2. This level 6 Lich is just so scary right now. Has a nice item set as well. It's going to be firing off auto attacks incredibly fast. Has plenty of Novas in the bank. 585 mana. This Lich is ready to destroy anything in its path. And we have a Death Knight to back it up and keep it fully healed. Also a Dreadlord with a very potent Carrion Swarm as well. If you can get some nice sleeps on the enemy heroes, you could be in good shape. But again, the unit count is going to MichaeL. Look at this army. 72 food. But an initial Nova, just a snipe from the back there. And the Obsidian Statue will go to work, getting it back up to full health. But this is it for the mining of MichaeL. MichaeL needs to get another mine immediately. Because right now, the only player mining in this game is LabyRinth. And LabyRinth knows that there are beetles back at the home base. So MichaeL's going to need to sell some items, unsummon some buildings, and he's doing so right now. And get an Expo up. Or take a fight and win it right now. This Crippler can engage with a nice juicy impale, and there is one right there. Does get the DK. A nice Nova on the Fiends there. Some of Labyrinth's army already falling before the battle even begins. 2 Fiends almost dead, and 2 Fiends do fall, bringing Labyrinth's food count down to 40 food. Not the way you want to start this battle when you're already behind as Labyrinth. The only advantage you have right now is maybe some hero levels and your gold mine, but you need to hold this Expo, and you need to hold it now. There's no chance for failure here. Potentially the final battle of the game has begun, as the rest of Labyrinth's unit army is falling. Only 1 Fiend remaining. The Acolytes in the back and 1 Destroyer going to get webbed down and fall as well. Labyrinth down to 37 food to 68 food. This Lich is scary, though. A lot of level 3 Novas going off. Coil's here to save the heroes. Sleep going off on the Death Knight. Now level 6 on the Crypt Lord. Locust Swarm going out, keeping it fully healed. Also siphoning a little bit of health away from Labyrinth. Labyrinth needs to get that, Dreadlord healed up, but it does get Nova down. Lich pops an Invuln pop, but it's probably not going to be enough, and another Nova onto the Death Knight. GG is called by Labyrinth, and MichaeL is taking this to Game 3 as he takes Labyrinth down on Northern Isles. Really good match right there, and we're going to Game 3, everyone. Undead Mirror. Who knew this was going to be such a nail-biter? What a matchup coming right now. MichaeL versus Labyrinth. We're going to Game 3. And with that, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break. Be right back. We're back here for Game 3, MichaeL versus LabyRinth, a real nail-biter here. I don't know where 1,552 people showed up from, but welcome. Welcome to Game 3, MichaeL versus LabyRinth. So we're about to get started. We're going to settle the score on Tidehunters. The score is 1-1. LabyRinth, our defending champion of Game 1, who won it with an early Lich, was not able to get the same momentum going in Game 2 as MichaeL was able to get an early expo up with the Crypt Lord. And that early economic advantage did pay off in the long run, transitioning from mass ghouls over to mass gargs, over to fiend statues. The amount of times MichaeL pivoted that game was incredible to adapt to anything that was happening. And now the question remains, can MichaeL keep the momentum from the Game 2 victory going into Game 3 and take it 2-1? Acolytes coming on out, scouting the Tidehunter terrain, seeing what is around. These acolytes will meet. Will they have something to say to one another? No, they're just going to pass on by. See you another time. Alright, into Crypt Lord opener for MichaeL, just like last game, and a Lich opener just like the past two games for MichaeL, for LabyRinth as well. And the Lich does not want that Acolyte to be anywhere near his base. Gonna take it out before heading on over to the first creep camp of the game. Meanwhile, Crypt Lord also going to work, getting started on his journey to level 2 and potentially a fast expo. Lich now continuing the path, moving on over to the natural, as is the Crypt Lord. No Acolyte following at the moment, but will drop the Blight. Potentially an Acolyte coming now to help with the expo. Blight dropped also from the Lich. Fast expo attempt from LabyRinth with the Lich. Here comes the Acolyte for MichaeL with a Ziggurat sure to come right away. Oh, Back to Warcraft sent you all. Well, thank you so much, Neo and the team, for sending people to hopefully be entertained by this best-of-3 matchup between MichaeL and LabyRinth. It's been a nail-biter thus far as we're tied 1-1 on Tidehunters.
Forces are under attack.
And our first meetup of the game. We have Novas in stock, Impale in stock. Who's gonna fire first? No juicy impales just yet, waiting for those ghouls to get lined up. And almost a cheeky surround there, and a nice impale by MichaeL there, getting about 4 or 5 ghouls there, taking him for a ride. But meanwhile, the Lich is going to sacrifice a unit and get some juicy Novas off on the early army of MichaeL. Michael pulling those wounded ghouls back, but the Lich has other things in store for it, such as a frosty missile, resulting in death. And Michael deciding to creep the Green Keep right outside of the Expo of LabyRinth. Meanwhile, the Expo for Michael underway as well. Both Expos pretty much tied up, but the Lich wants to creepjack this. Gonna get enough mana for a Nova, but it was a level 2 Nova. Now has level 3. These Novas are gonna be even more potent, even more powerful now. And the Crypt Lord getting a little stuck here, getting body blocked by the red ghouls of LabyRinth. LabyRinth does get a nice juicy Nova, forcing a TP back for Michael. Michael has to get out of here. Alright, the Expos are online and operational for both of our players here. Both also still on Tier 1. Lich opting to buy Staff of Teleportation. Maybe going to start the harassment head game.
Players' forces are under attack.
And here we are, Crypt Lord now getting to that level 3, getting those more powerful beetles. Going to be able to burrow back at the Expo of LabyRinth. And this is going to really be an inconvenience for LabyRinth, because he's going to have to constantly be paying attention to this Expo as these beetles are just going to burrow down and be a constant nuisance. Meanwhile, over here at Michael's Expo, LabyRinth has other things in mind and wants to take this down and take it down now. But will be forced to retreat as Michael has a nice massive armies. Going to sacrifice one of the ghouls, hopefully to get enough mana for a Nova, but not quite yet. Needs a couple more mana points to be able to drop those juicy Frost Novas on this ghoul backline here. And one beetle going to chase this Acolyte down and snipe it. It's going to be enough damage, but meanwhile back here, Lich out of mana, gonna need to sacrifice another ghoul, potentially gonna get surrounded, and LabyRinth does get surrounded. Uh-oh, gotta be careful here, got a staff out now, and it potentially is going to fall. It's going to fall because Impale was up. If you use the staff, you know you're dead anyway with Impale. Critical mistake from LabyRinth, getting surrounded by Michael there, well played. And now, how will Michael use this momentum he has? He needs to use it now. And not overextend. A lot of ghouls here willing to be sacrificed with a nice Impale. And Lich has not been restarted yet.
Are under attack.
Potential. Oh wait, wrong altar. Yes, he has. Ghouls going to work on one another. And this Crypt Lord is getting scarier and scarier as it is growing in hero levels, getting closer and closer to level 4. Pulling over the Acolytes to help out any way they can. And it is ghoul frenzy madness going on in the middle of this Expo. Lich is back online. Going to start sacrificing, getting that mana count up to start firing off some of those nice potent Novas on the ghoul army of Michael. But Michael is now pivoting into Fiends, double Crypt Fiends on Tier 2 with a DK on the way. LabyRinth also on Tier 2, DK incoming as well. No Slaughterhouse yet for LabyRinth. Lich is here. LabyRinth is very good at having this Lich be a constant annoyance to Michael and his creep routes. Sniping creeps with Frost Nova, sniping injured ghouls with Frost Nova, you name it, the Lich wants to be a part of it. tries to snipe that baby turtle, not quite gonna get it on time, and what will steal the bigger turtle, but the Cloak of Shadows will go to MichaeL. Level 4, however, now on the Lich,
A player's forces are under attack.
and Sacrificial Pact now becomes more powerful, gonna be able to cast more Novas more frequently. Fiends are gonna finish off the back here of this merchant shop. This Nova, this Lich, a constant annoyance to the creeping of MichaeL. Now a Nova incoming. 125 mana, here comes the Nova. But first gonna back off a little bit, sacrifice. Now 2 Novas potentially in stock. A nice juicy Nova, there it is on the back line of that Fiend. LabyRinth sitting comfortable at 40 food, not choosing to break upkeep. MichaeL has broken upkeep, 57 food, and pushing further into Fiend statues. DK Lich remain online, remain a bothersome terror that MichaeL has to constantly deal with, constantly encounter, and you have to wonder what is LabyRinth building behind all of this. Now we have 2 crypts and the Temple of the Damned. Meanwhile, just getting straight harassed by DK Lich. And it's decently effective, although maybe until now, with the potential surround attempt, and the staff was used. Impale is on cooldown, so very nice there. Saved by the DK. Make sure it was healthy enough to get back. Gonna sacrifice some more Skeleton Warriors and head back down to do more damage. Fiends on the way, as well as Banshees. Here we are, DK potentially trying to snipe some XP as well. I don't believe that one was successful. So gonna have to back off a little bit here as MichaeL attempts to finish off this camp. DK and Lich are gonna have to call it a day here and try again next time. Alright, pulling back this yellow camp right now, this orange camp. Meanwhile, Beetle got caught up in the red camp. Not where you want to be, but scouting it just to make sure it's available still. A lot of ghouls here to show up and potentially get some damage on these Fiends. 1 statue, LabyRinth only 46 food. MichaeL again with the food superiority, just like last game, 68 food. Can you take this fight, LabyRinth? Is it time to take the fight? Your Lich is in a really dangerous position right now. You were going to get surrounded if you are not careful. What is this Lich doing over here? The DK also in a compromising position right now as coils are going off onto the Fiends, but so are the ghouls. The ghouls are here to take down the Fiends and push them back. Dust is used to be able to see the burrowed Fiends, and one of them does fall. LabyRinth now pushing into low upkeep at 56 food. Incoming are more Fiends, Master Banshees as well. Alright, gonna creep up this camp, but not without the opportunity of getting creepjacked by MichaeL. It's happened all too many times in this series. And it's going to potentially happen again. MichaeL picking the opportune moment to get in there and creepjack. And look at the Impale sending the ghouls for a ride and a Nova to follow. Oh my gosh, the ghouls are gone. Only 1 remains after Impale Nova. And the last ghoul will also fall at the hands of a destroyer.
A player's forces are under attack.
And back to creeping. MichaeL is going to now take down this Expo. And taken down relatively easily as MichaeL moves on to the next camp. Meanwhile, back up here, LabyRinth. Taking down the easier green camp. Still a couple camps left to go. We have the big red camp over in the corner here. Orange camp as well. And Banshee's on the way.
A player's forces are under attack.
Taking down this. Is this going to be another time that LabyRinth gets creep jacked and he's going to be stuck up here, but he does have the high ground. This could help with ranged attacks, but I don't know. You're in a pretty compromising position here. Only 58 food to 72 food of MichaeL. MichaeL is here and he wants to go all in and end it right now. Fiends are falling fast. Shredder is purchased. Any firepower LabyRinth can get to help secure this victory here and live another day. LabyRinth's fiends are falling fast. Novas and impales all over the place. Some coils going off in the back line of MichaeL here. Another Nova going. 49 food to 58 food. MichaeL's army is falling at a pretty rapid rate. DK could be getting surrounded here and could be getting nuked down. It is one shot away from death. It does fall. Meanwhile, the rest, but it does have an Ankh of Reincarnation. The DK will be back. Meanwhile, Dark Ranger almost getting up to level 3 as well. DK being focus fired again. Do not want those coils going off to heal up this undead army. Destroyers, fiends, heroes, statues, everything is in the mix here as we are in what could be our final showdown of the match. 53 food, 52 food. We have a very even matchup right now. This Lich is falling fast, but nothing that MichaeL can't solve with a fresh coil from the Death Knight. And a little bit of a stalemate here as MichaeL is pulling back, getting into better position. Don't want to be caught in a compromising spot here. Don't want to give up what could be a victory, a 2-1 victory for you. But this Lich is falling fast. One Nova away from death and knows it. Has to pop the Invuln potion and needs to get healed up very quickly. Need to get some mana regen from this statue. Get that Lich back up to full health ASAP. While taking down the marketplace, and we still have this red camp available. Who is going to go for the red camp, get that big juicy item from that granite golem? LabyRinth is in decent position to take it, but as we know, MichaeL is always in decent position to jack it. Meanwhile, back at home base, tier 3s are online. Double crypt, now Banshees to match LabyRinth's Banshees. Master Banshees on the map. Fiends are live. What is going to happen here? We're going to see probably a lot of anti-magic shell. Very strong granite golem, and MichaeL is so far away, he will not be creep jacking this anytime soon. Instead, he is going to go down for the gargantuan sea turtle camp. Pulling this back out. Want to see what this item, what this granite golem drops here. It's going to be a nice big potent item. What do we got? Pulling that Lich back to get maximum XP soakage from the DK and the Dark Ranger. And we got a Claws plus 12, I believe. Going to go to that Lich. Lich now needs to figure out what he wants to drop. Going to drop the gauntlets. And this Lich now plus 22. Evolving into the Chad that he knows he can be. And scouted a beetle here, but gonna leave it alone for now. Not worth a dust. And the map is now crept out. We're right back in the game 2's position where the map was crept out. Everyone has their expos. But this time, both players expoed relatively early, with MichaeL about 1,000 gold ahead. If the game goes too long like it did last time, I'm going to need to get these extra mines down here up and operational before you turn into LabyRinth last game and you run out of a gold economy. Here we go. Anti-magic shell on all of the units. Gonna really help with these impale novas. You can see those fiends just deflecting off that impale, although they did go for a ride. One fiend almost fell, but quickly recovered with the Death Coil from LabyRinth's Death Knight. Now heading over into the back line here. Nova's going off trying to get rid of this anti-magic shell, but it's absorbing so much magic damage. Meanwhile, Focus Fire on LabyRinth's Dark Knight, but nothing that a little healing can't solve. Taking all the Fiends for a ride, getting rid of that anti-magic shell. Now they are vulnerable to coils and Novas. We got 71 food to 77 food. We still have a big battle, a long way to go. Fiend's going for another ride with a Nova to follow and taking down a large chunk of the backline of LabyRinth. Now down to 66 food. MichaeL with 72 food, still strong in this battle. Just doing enough to force LabyRinth to TP back, and MichaeL wins the battle this day. TP'd back to the Expo. Do have a Sacrificial Pit out. Gonna have some shades to potentially follow around this army. And ghouls running around scouting the map. MichaeL is going to Expo again. Scroll of Healing is purchased from the only Merc shop on the map. And as the game draws longer and longer, it gets closer and closer. Level 5, Level 4, Level 3 for MichaeL. Level 5, Level 3, and Level 4 for LabyRinth. Going for more Fiends. Not pushing into high upkeep yet. But will MichaeL potentially do it once he has 2 Expos up and running and he's mining on 3 mines to have the unit advantage? This is something he'll consider. Banshees are here for the anti-magic shell. However, it's all seen by the shade of LabyRinth. Back at the marketplace, seeing if there's anything interesting there. We're about ready to dance. Some initial firing going off onto the Crypt Lord. Crypt Lord, this is all about positioning here. One wrong move, one wrong position could cost you this whole game, and it's all come down to this 21 minutes into Game 3. Both players want to proceed onward. Who is going to take it?
A player's forces are under attack.
Lich coming down, maybe to get some Frost Nova snipes, but will be pushed back. Doesn't want to get caught out of position. A dead Lich could mean the end of LabyRinth's run. And MichaeL has decided he is going to strike first. He's going to go after the Tomb of Relics. The Tomb of Relics will fall and be able to back those Fiends into position, not get too exposed, but the Shade continues to just follow LabyRinth. The Shade of LabyRinth continues to follow MichaeL around. Frost Nova now onto the Lich, but easily healed by a Death Coil. And here we go. The next battle has begun. We have Fiends all anti-magic shelled, but they're going for a ride anyway. Impale from the Crypt Lord of MichaeL, forcing a TP back from MichaeL. MichaeL's going to have to TP back right away. Doesn't like the position he's in, doesn't like the state of this battle. As both players are now pushing into high upkeep, we're going to see 100 food versus 100 food. And 3 mines for MichaeL. Only 2 for LabyRinth, as the initial mine is now gone. Gonna go for this one, but MichaeL's gonna see it. MichaeL has this beetle burrowed here. He's had it here for a while, preparing for this exact moment. He wants to see when it comes, and the beetle potentially here to cancel it. He's just gonna harass the Acolytes right now, and the Destroyer's just gonna devour it. Oh, and unfortunately feeds the Death Knight level 4. That's gonna be a nice level 2 Unholy Aura. Little power creep there for the undead player. And both players opting to kind of chill out for a minute, bolster their units. They know it's going to come down to one big, massive final battle. 96 food to 86 food. MichaeL has the advantage right now. But not for long. The food counts are closing in on one another. The gap is closing. MichaeL now hitting 100 food. This is as big as your army's going to get, MichaeL. It's now or never. Get in there. Taking a couple fiends for a ride, but not too many. Some of the anti-magic shell is starting to wear off of LabyRinth's army. Now, in the front here, both Death Knights side by side, trying to do what they can to be in good position to keep their armies healed up to full. This Crypt Lord of MichaeL's is falling rather quickly in a also compromised position, but is able to get really good impales off on LabyRinth's army. However, it's going to keep taking constant firepower damage from all of the fiends, and Invuln pop needs to be popped for MichaeL. MichaeL needs to keep this Death Knight alive. You cannot afford to lose your source of healing, or it could spell the end for you. MichaeL, as LabyRinth is in a good position, 79 food. However, MichaeL is not really losing many units, still at 95 food. Just in great position right now, taking these units for a ride. MichaeL, another solid impale, and Nova's right behind it to support. More coils coming from the back line. MichaeL's Death Knight definitely got into a good position now, sitting in the back, out of harm's way. However, LabyRinth's Death Knight now moving to the back as well, pivoting to the back line to fire off some death coils to the army. 78 food to 89 food. MichaeL in the lead with the food count. Death Knight getting focused down. LabyRinth smells blood. He knows he needs to take out that Death Knight, and there's not many coils or impales left. A lot of the mana is getting drained. We're sitting at 66 food for LabyRinth. MichaeL sitting at a solid 89 right now. A big Nova onto the back line of Banshees. Meanwhile, Death Knight opting to go into the main base. Not sure if that was a misclick or what, but the Death Knight is far away now into the opponent's base. Banshees are falling left and right from MichaeL, evening the score now, 76 to 63. Each one of these Banshees that falls brings MichaeL that much further and more in line with LabyRinth. LabyRinth closing the gap, and in fact, MichaeL calls GG. LabyRinth takes it. Game 3, LabyRinth 2-1 on Tidehunters.